Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you another one of our live deck profiles. Today, we're going to be doing some Malamar Giratina spread. It's literally, I think, one of my favorite decks right now. But don't forget to drop a like on the video if you have not already. Answer the comment question down below. What is your favorite updated deck, I guess, to come out of Lost Thunder? Like, just some ideas. Like Giratina Malamar gets stronger because we have access to Giratina. What else gets stronger? Buzzwole gets stronger because of Ninetales. Even decks like, I always mention Rotom because I love playing Rotom, but like Rotom gets updated because of Adventure Satchel, things like that. What is one of your favorite decks to get updated from this new set? Let me know in the comments down below for a chance to win a couple codes. Don't forget to like the video if you have not already, and let's get right into it. Now, before I get comments like I always do when I show off this deck, know that this is a quote-unquote max ready deck. It's not exactly there, but it's almost there. Know that a lot of these cards I got from whenever I don't know, a lot of you guys that were playing when Sun and Moon, the base set came out, remember that bulk prices were like really good. So you were able to exchange a lot of just some bulk to get like a bunch of like booster boxes. And I got me like, I splooged on Sun and Moon booster boxes. So I got me a lot of things, including a lot of secret rares and stuff that I needed. So a lot of that came from me giving up my bulk. It's not just me spending my money. Some of it is for sure because I wanted to finish it out since I was already there. But I know a lot of people are always like, this is why he doesn't go to tournaments. He doesn't have money after spending all of his money on cards. It's just not the case. I don't have money because I go to school. We got 4 Inkays and 4 Malamars here. You know, standard stuff. We are playing on Malamar deck, so we have to play our 4-4 line. I usually go for 4-3, but that's because I was playing Ultra Necrozma a lot. Now I think 4-4 is just kind of the way to go. And then we got 2 of our main attacker, funny enough, being Giratina. So this new Giratina is actually super cool. 130 HP and weak to dark, which kind of sucks, but you're not weak to psychic, so like it's good to have like different weaknesses in your cards. You are a psychic type attacker, and this is like one of those cards that completely replace Shining Lugia, because you hit that 130 number for 3 energies, and its other effects are not great, but its ability is really good. So let's take a look at its ability first. Let's see if we can focus. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put it onto your bench. If you do, put 1 damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it's a really strong ability that puts things in range of knockouts, especially if you can chain this going over and over again. So it's really good for spreading. Spreading damage, putting things in range, all that good jazz. And then his attack, Shadow Impact, for 3 energies is 130, and put 4 damage counters on 1 of your Pokemon. So you have to damage your own Pokemon, which is not great, but you could not, I mean, like, most of your Pokemon are going to get O-Code anyways, like your Malamars and stuff like that, or even you can even put on yourself if you're going to get O-Code the following turn. So like, it doesn't matter. Like the downside at first, I was like, oh, this card can never really attack. Then I played the deck and I was like, actually this card can attack a lot and is the main attacker. And I realized that now. So Giratina, we're playing 2 of you. We're only playing 2 because once it hits the discard pile, you have a continuous stream of them. Like there are ways your opponent can get to them, like putting it in like a Lost Zone or something like that. Like maybe with the effects of like a fire type deck that can play like Lysander Prism. That's the only card I think that can do that. Otherwise, like you'll have a continuous stream, and if you're playing against a fire deck, you just never put the second one to the Lost Zone until after they use Lysander Prism, right? So like you're fine. You're fine. The other main attacker in the deck is going to be Tapu Koko. Flying Flip. You are going to be using Flying Flip a lot when you play this deck. It is primarily a spread deck, and Flying Flip being a really strong attack, especially against a lot of these electric weak Pokemon like Lost March attackers. It's really good. Plus you want to put things in range of Giratina, and it's overall like it's your free retreater of the deck, which is very important. When I play this deck, the primary focus is to get 1 Koko down, and then 3 Inkays that can evolve into Malamar, and then you have 2 extra bench space. Usually you're gonna have an attacker like Giratina, and then maybe a Lele, maybe even a second attacker, maybe a Pokemon you're forced to play down for like a matchup or something like that. But that's going to be your main focus because you always want to be able to pivot. You play Giratina, it gets knocked out, you go into Koko, you have your 3 Malamars, you set up Giratina again, you retreat out into Koko, and then you attack with Giratina again. That's going to be what you want to do. That's the main plan when it comes to this deck. You play cards like Shrine of Punishment for spread damages, for like damage as well. And you have cards like Spell Tag, which we'll go over like close to the end of this video whenever we have items and stuff. So I'm not playing anything like the Marshadow because, like I said, you have a 3 Malamars, Giratina, and a Coco. That's 5 out of your 6 bench space, and you're probably going to need to play Lele at some point. But even if you don't play down Lele, you want to make sure you have other Pokemon as well, so you don't have the room to play Marshadow. The winning list, this is very, I don't want to say it's very similar, but it's pretty similar to the winning list of the Champion League tournament that happened in Tokyo. So they didn't play any Marshadow. I kind of agree with it. I've never been a huge fan of playing Marshadow and Malamar anyways. I do like the idea of disrupting your opponent. I'd rather play Judge though, most of the time, because usually you disrupt the mid game. I mean, there's very little decks you want to disrupt early game. Plus, the game plan for Malamar is to set up as much as you can. So unless you're playing like 15 draw supporters or something like that, I don't think I would risk playing Malamar early game personally, because you want to set up. That's the whole point of Malamar, is you have to spend the first 2 or 3 turns. In this deck, it's usually only like 2, but 2 or 3 turns like setting up your deck. So that's my opinions on the matter, because a lot of people always ask me, why don't you want to try out Malamar? That's my reasoning. If you have any other questions, by the way, about like what I should and shouldn't try, or why I do and don't try things, I always answer them down below. And I always like to get new inputs. I've been testing different builds of this deck for a long time, and this deck has been literally everything I've played. So I've played and I've uploaded and things like that. This deck has a chance to beat, and a pretty high chance to beat. This deck is absolutely busted. Other cards we have in this deck, another guard. Actually, let me go over this one first. A 1-of Onyx. The reason why we're playing Onyx is because it's a fighting type attacker that hits 120. So we no longer need that pesky Marshadow GX. I don't like playing GX Pokemon that can be easily O-code. So this is a beautiful replacement. There's also the other card, Larvae Thar. Excuse me, guys. Oh, sorry, I just sneezed there. A Larvae Thar does, for DCE, does 80 damage if your opponent has 3 damage counters on them. So it does 10 plus 70 more if they have 3 damage counters on them. And thanks to cards like Coco and Shrine of Punishment, we should be able to put 3 damage counters on most of our Pokemon. The problem is that like you're essentially creating this like environment, not really environment, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to fulfill these requirements in order to knock out things like Zoroark in one hit. Zoroark is a problem to this deck. You have a weakness here, and then everything else gets O-code, right? So instead of having to like fulfill a requirement, why don't you just set up an Onyx and O-code them? Sure, they can O-code you back, but you do play DCs in this deck. You have Malamars. In most cases, you're going to be able to set up this Onyx, and then you'll be able to just Guzma and Oko, instead of having to wait like maybe 2 turns, maybe 3 turns to knock things out with Larvae Thar, or even like attack with Coco. You can just slap this down, attach DCE, throw in some energies, and boom, Guzma knock it out. Or like maybe it's already active because it's usually attacking. Just switch into it, knock it out, things like that. So I do like the Onyx a little bit more than I like the Larvae Thar. Also, let's keep in mind that if your opponent if a Zoroark only has 3 damage counters on them and you're only hitting them for 80, that means they're only going to have 190 damage counters altogether. You're not even taking a knockout with Larvae Thar. You have to make sure they have 2 extra damage counters, which is not going to be something you want to do, because that's a lot more work, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not playing Choice Band in this deck. I don't feel like you need to play Choice Band in this deck. If I were to play Larvae Thar, I'd probably play Choice Band, because then you don't even need to worry about the extra damage. You're always taking Oko. But I don't feel like you need Choice Band in this deck. And then here's one more card I actually really like in this deck, and it has a little bit of controversy. I was talking about it in the Discord the other day, and that is Shining Arceus. This card I feel like is really important. 130 HP, has Ultimate Arrow. Once again, 4 energy costs is not even a huge deal in Malamar, because it's easy to set up, fairly easy to set up. So it's not like a super scary attack cost, but it's 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's a spread. It's stronger than Coco, has 130 HP, which is nice. But more importantly, it's your mirror answer. If you're ever going to play against something like this, its ability, Fabled Defense. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. No Coco Flying Flip, no Arceus flying Ultimate Arrowing you. They can't damage your bench with attacks. That's really big, because one way to beat this matchup is to Flying Flip a bunch, because the winner is the person that has the most Malamars at the end of the day, so they can chain Giratina easily, right? If they can't chain Giratina as well, like one attack with Shining Arceus means that you put 30 damage on a Malamar, leaving them with 60 HP less. So that means you only have to do 3 more Flying Flips, and that's not including using Giratina's ability at all in those math. So one attack with Arceus is essentially 2 attacks. Coco needs 5 attacks to hit that 100, because it can't hit 90, right? So it needs 5 attacks to knock out the Malamars. Well, this is -2. If you hit it twice, they still have to do 4 more times, but I'm sure you can do some Giratina math to where that's not even necessary. And then they only have to do maybe 1 or 2 more times. Like, it's so good. If you attack 3 times with Arceus, then boom, you're set, you're done. Boom, boom, let's get it. So I like Arceus a lot in this deck as an attacker, and its ability is like really, really good for a lot of the mirror. And Shining Arceus is kind of crazy looking. Oh, my phone is ringing. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh, there we go. And the other last attackers we have in this deck, a 1 of Necrozma, because Necrozma's GX attack is really good. Its ability is good as well. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from a colorless Pokemon. So, I mean, like, if Drampa ever becomes a thing again, then it's a good attacker. We all know what its other attack does. Discard all your Psychic Energy, does 60 damage for each one. So it does 190 damage for 3 Psychic Energies. And you have DCE, so if you need to do like a quick 70 or something like that, is a possibility. More importantly, we have those DCEs for that Black Ray GX attack. Putting 100 damage counter to all of your opponent's Pokemon, GX and EX. Not only can that win the games you're playing cards like Shrine and you attack with Koko and Arceus a couple times, it also puts everything in range of Giratina for the most part. Outside of like metal Pokemon like Metagross, which if that's the case, you just continue spreading and then you finish them off with Giratina and stuff like that. And you have Shrine of Punishment as well, so like it shouldn't be a big deal. And you can just Oko them with this as well. Like you need a lot more energies, but like Shrine of Punishment damage just put things in range. And then we are playing a 1 of Tapu Lele GX. We have Tapu Cure, we have the ability, we even have Energy Drive. So like overall, I like the Pokemon lineup a lot. This is my Pokemon lineup. It's very, I feel like it's pretty good. Like I said, you can play things like Marshadow and stuff like that if you want to. I don't know what else I would play. There's not many other attackers I think I would want in this deck at all, but I'm good. I think I'm good with that. Let's go on to the supporters. I'm gonna do supporters first this time because I think the supporters are pretty important in this deck. It's the one that got me the most confused until after I playtested the winning list that I kind of started to understand. I upped it up. His list played only 3 Lilies. I upped mine up to 4 because I wanted to play Lily pretty much all the time. So 4 Lilies here, and these are getting a little bit weird. Okay, 4 Cynthias, of course. Just lots of draw support. We want to play as much draw support as we can. We get turn with Lily a lot because we play 4 Lilies, so it is pretty good. And 3 Guzma. 3 Guzma is fine in this deck. Like I said, it's primarily focused on setting up, and you also have what's it called? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, you also have spread, so you don't really need to Guzma most of the time anyway, so it's not even a big deal. And then here's some cards that I thought was really interesting. His list played 2 Tates. I brought it down to 1. I haven't really needed to, so I like the 1 of count. I also play a 1 of Acrobike, which helps even like that 1 of Acrobike is actually kind of nice. At first I was like, whatever, I'll just throw in Acrobike until I can figure out what else I want to put in the deck. And then that 1 of Acrobike was really cool. So I am playing a 1 of Acrobike to kind of supplement my lack of Tate and Liza. I also put in another Lily to supplement the next card as well, which is going to be TV Reporter, a card I never thought I would play ever, and I would make fun of Nelson all the time because Nelson loves this card. And a 1 of Judge. Now the Judge is there for disruption, obviously, but TV Reporter is really interesting. Draw 3, discard 1. I was very confused as to why he played TV Reporter, because he played 2 TV Reporters. It wasn't even just 1. So I gave it a try. At first I was just, TV Reporter to me has always been like weaker Sophocles. TV Reporter to me has been worst How, because you have the discard. But TV Reporter has its niche little use. Now the main reason why you play TV Reporter is because it's just another supporter card that can get you deep in your deck, right? You don't want to play Shuffle Draw all the time because you don't want to Shuffle Draw all the time. Sometimes you have really good hands. The thing about Mewmore is that your hands are usually pretty good for the next turn. So you don't want to shuffle, you want to draw more cards to see if you can find more treasures, more Ultra Balls, more cards like that, right? More energies, more ways to discard them. That's what you want. So what TV Reporter does is that it lets you dig 3 cards deep while also discarding maybe a Psychic Energy, maybe a Giratina, maybe another card that can keep your hand size low so you can use Lily more. That's why I really like, that's why I found a love for TV Reporter. Now, do I like this more than Sophocles? In this deck, yes, because I'd rather draw first then discard almost every single time so I have an idea of what I'm doing. And there's going to be so many games where I can't discard 2 cards. Like I literally, my hands are too good. Maybe I have a bunch of Malamars in my hand. And maybe I have like a bunch of energies I want to actually manually attach throughout the game. I don't want to discard so many. Maybe I have more supporters in my hand I don't want to discard. So I don't like Sophocles so much in this deck as much as I like TV Reporter. So it's a little bit weird. It's not something I thought I would like, but I like it. I have to admit that I like a 1 of TV Reporter. It's coming clutch here and there. I don't know. We'll see how long I keep it. Another build I want to try is the heavy Acrobike build, but being able to search, being able to draw more cards off of your supporters is to me better because, like I said, this deck, is very much combo based. So you want to have a bunch of cards in your hand, and you want to be able to draw your treasures. You want to be able to draw your Ultra Balls early game. So that's why there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 draw supporters in this deck. You should be constantly drawing. The winning list played 2 Tates and 2 TV reporters. One less Lily. So he had 12 draw supporters in his deck. So as you can see, the deck is very, very heavily focused on making sure that you're constantly, you're just as consistent as you can be. Like every turn you want to play draw supporter, and then late game you want to play your Guzmas, right? Now for the items, this is something I'm trying. We got ourselves 4 mysterious treasures. Here it is. Okay, cool. And only 3 Ultra Balls. Usually I'm like all 4 lines, but like I said, there's so many cards I don't want to discard actually in this deck that I'm not even gonna play 4 Ultra Balls. But it is a nice way to search more, because I'd much rather play Nest Ball in this deck. This is actually something I tried. If you guys remember way back in the day, not way back in the day, like 3 months ago, I was playing Ultra Necrozma Malamar, and I played 1 or 2 Nest Balls. I don't remember how many, but I definitely was playing Nest Balls on top of like 4 Ultra Balls, 4 Mysterious Treasure, and everyone was just like, you don't need those Nest Balls, take those out. But man, after seeing him win with playing a actual 2-3 split, he was actually playing 2 Ultra Balls, 3 Nest Balls. I switched it around because I liked it a little bit more this way. But after seeing him win and be as consistent as he was with 3 Nest Balls, so happy because I think Nest Balls was really good in this deck. You want to get out as many Ink as you can, and then Nest Balls also get you cards like Shining Arceus, Coco, which is super important. You want to make sure you have your Coco out. Even Onyx and stuff like that. It's good throughout the game because you have so many basics in your deck as well. So I think Nest Ball is really good. I want to play it as a 2-of count. I couldn't find space when I was cutting around cards and playing with different numbers and things like that. I ended up liking the 3-2 split a lot. Of course, the treasure is the most important card because it's a 1-of discard, so it's easier to pay. And you're not gonna, very rarely do you have hands with like 3 basic energies in them. Like you want to discard 1 energy, manually attach the other one, and then that's all the energies in your hand, right? So that's why I'm not playing as many Ultra Ball. As far as our other items go, 2 rescue stretchers. 2 is really important. I feel like you need 2. And then, oh, this is awkward. A 1 of Acrobike. So yeah, the 1 of Acrobike. I mean, I'm only playing a 1-of right now. It was just kind of something I wanted to throw in. I couldn't figure out what else I'd wanted to throw in. I didn't want to throw in cards that can clump me up. So I was trying to avoid playing extra supporters. I didn't want to play more Ultra Ball because I didn't like having more than 3, which is kind of weird to say, but I didn't want to play the 4th Ultra Ball. And I didn't want to play any more Nest Ball because like 3 Nest Ball is kind of overkill in my opinion. Like he played 3, I didn't really like it with 3 because I had a lot of weird Nest Balls with a full bench that I couldn't play, and it was just awkward. And yeah, so I ended up cutting it, and I ended up cutting a couple cards, and I put in a 4th Acrobike because in my mind it's like extra search, kind of, not really search, but like it helps you dig deeper into your deck. That's kind of what I wanted, right? Plus it helps you discard if you need to. So I did like the 1 of Acrobike. One thing I wanted to try in this deck was toss TV Reporter and maybe 1 Lily to play 2 more Acrobikes. Not super sure how confident I am in that, but that's something I want to try. I don't want to go below 4 Lilies though. Like the more I play the deck, the more I hate the deck when it has below 4 Lilies. I really like the deck with 4 Lilies because it just means you can constantly be drawing. It's just constant, so it's pretty cool. Another card we have in here is 4 Spell Tags. And Spell Tag, if you guys don't know, is a tool card that you can attach to any of your Psychic Pokemon. Let's see if we can focus. Anyway, shoutouts to Waluigi for passing me this Spell Tag. Much appreciated. When the Psychic Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So it's really cool to put this on your own Giratinas, or even like bait your opponent by putting them on Malamars so that either they can knock out Malamars and put themselves in range of other attacks, or they could just deal with the Malamars. And you put it on Giratinas, who's your main attacker anyways. They have to Guzma around it, but they can only Guzma so much. And if you Guzma, they take another knockout, then Giratina just comes back in and does more damage. So I do like Spell Tag a lot in this deck. I feel like it's so good. Like at first I looked at Spell Tag and didn't think too much of it. I was just like, okay, just another card. It's kind of whack. I think I'd rather play Choice Band. But being able to put 4 damage counters anywhere on the board, like think about it. Early game, they knock out an Inkay and you have a Spell Tag attached to them, and they play cards like Ditto Prism. They knock you out, you knock out a Ditto. Against Lost March, they knock you out, you knock out a Natu. Spell Tag is very useful. Very, very useful. I like this card a lot. So I'm playing through that. And I did up it from 1 shrine, from the winning list play to 2 shrine. I feel like that second shrine was really good in so many matchups. That's why I bumped it up to 2. I don't think I want 3. I don't think I've been set with 2 for the most part, because you only really want 1 or 2 ticks of damage. But then, like against Blacephalon, I wanted more ticks of damage, so I didn't have to rely on attacking with Coco if I didn't have to. And having access to the Shrine of Punishment, putting them just because they can bump the stadium relatively easily. So being able to put in that 2 guaranteed ticks more or less is pretty handy. So I am playing 2. Plus it helps me find it a little bit easier as well. We are playing a lot of draw spores, as you guys saw earlier. So obviously we're going to find them at some point. So yeah, I did and the spell tags, man. I can't even like a lot of people don't really understand how good spell tag is until they start playing it. And my God, spell tag is really good. This is a recent change, and I'm not too sure how I like it yet, but I will talk about it anyways because I feel like it was kind of important. I am playing, instead of playing 10 psychic energies, I'm playing 9. 9's been fine. I haven't really had issues with psychic energies yet. I haven't played too many games with 9 before. I will tell you right now, this is my list. I have a 9 psychics, 3 DCEs. Beforehand, I had 10 psychics, 2 DCEs. This is, excuse me, this is something I want to try because I wanted to use Flying Flip more. So I wanted to have another DCE around to use Flying Flip more. So I replaced one of the psychics with another DCE. Also, DCE means you can retreat your Malamars easier if you're in a situation where you don't have Cocos and you have to retreat your Malamars. And it helps you attack with Onyx. It helps you attack with Arceus. And it fulfills an attack cost because Giratina has a 1 of colorless attack cost. So it is a nice manual attachment on Giratina. It also means you can attack with Lele easier and Necrozma easier. I didn't want to play 4 because I feel like I didn't have space for a 4th one. But 3 seemed to do the job for me pretty well. And in my test draws and my handful of games I played as well, I like this a little bit more. But it's like one of those things where I'm not super confident in until I've played a bunch more games with it. Now I have played this deck versus Lost March. I haven't beaten, Lost March has not beaten me yet. Except for one game where I clumped up completely. But that happens to any deck, right? But I've won every game versus Lost March. I've won, I want to say 70-30 games versus Blacephalon, all sorts of different versions. I've won, obviously I beat, well actually no, I've lost 1 game versus Buzzwole, but I beat all the other Buzzwole matchups. Macargo, which is it's less threatening than the other versions, but it's still something worth talking about. I've won most of the games versus that. I want to say once I made the changes, of course. There it is. I knew that was gonna happen too. Anyways, black screen now. That's why I was mumbling to myself. Yeah, the camera just died on me, but the audio is still working, so I can still continue this video. Anyways, I think we're just gonna end the video here so I don't have to do too much editing. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you have not already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Let me know what you think about it. To me, this Giratina deck, this Malamar spread deck is very easy to just, what's the word? To, I don't know, personalize. I guess that's the word I'm looking for, right? Because you can really build the deck the way that you want to play the deck, because the core of the deck is so strong that it's just based on do you want to play the heavy acrobike build? Do you want to play more psychic energies? Do you even want to play DCs? Do you want to play 4 DCEs? It's that kind of thing. We can make small changes to fit your playstyle, which I like a lot. I do like this Giratina deck a lot. This is definitely my favorite list right here. This and Blacephalon are my 2 favorite decks to come out of Lost Thunder, for those of you that are always curious and asking me. Which is weird because I love Ninetales, but none of them play Ninetales. There you go. But it's fine. I think Ninetales is really good, so don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Ninetales. It's my baby girl. Anyways, don't forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Don't forget to check out our sponsors at Guardian Gaming, of course. Link is always in the description down below if you guys want to shop. You can use code ORABOMB to get yourself 5% off codes. I should probably put that in my description as well. I'm probably gonna do that from now on. Yeah, by the time this goes up, it probably will be in there. But yeah, that's something to consider. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.